How are you?
I'm doing wonderful.
Good. So, you want to take a second to introduce yourself?
Of course. Um, my name is Misty. I am 47 years old. I'm from a small town on the east coast of North Carolina, Little Washington, where everybody knows everybody.
Okay.
And yeah, I live in Durham, North Carolina now, and I work at one of the largest substance abuse treatment programs in North Carolina.
Okay.
Considered one of the best in the country.
Cool.
So that's what I'm doing
Cool.
today.
That sounds good. That sounds good. So you said you grew up in a little city called Little Washington.
Yep.
What was that? What was that like growing up in that small city?
Growing up in a small town like that, there's a lot of pressure to like kind of keep up with the Joneses. You know, everybody knows everybody, and you know the rumor mill spreads quickly in a small town like that.
Okay. Okay. So I take it, your family, did you have both parents in your family? You have any siblings? What was your relationship like in your family with you?
I grew up with my mom and my stepfather, who is my dad. Okay. You know, he's passed now, but that's my daddy. And my biological father, I never had a relationship with him until I was older. But I have a brother and a sister. A brother from the first marriage and a sister from the second marriage, but we're all very close. Okay. And I grew up in a very loving home. You know, there were a lot of struggles in our household, but there was always love.
Okay. Cool. Cool. How about school? What type of student were you in school?
I was an excellent student.
Really?
I loved school. School for me was kind of an escape from my home life. You know, it was a place where I loved school. I did really well. I always felt the need to like be the best at everything. And you know, when I was in high school, I was super involved with extracurricular activities. I was in the marching band. You know, I started out playing the clarinet, and then by my junior year, I'm the drum major of a 100-member marching band. Wow. Traveling all over, winning awards, like you know, the leader of, you know, it was like my glory days. I feel like I had a great time with it. You know, early on I wanted to be a nurse, and started in high school with health occupations, became the president of the Health Occupation Students of America, and then in the state also became I was like the secretary in the state. They had competitions, and I competed in medical spelling, and actually won first in my region, second in the state, and then 11th in the nation in medical spelling when I was a senior in high school. Wow. So that was in Chicago. So I got to travel a lot, even just based on my academics. I got to travel and see things that my parents could have never taken me to, you know. And so I got to see and learn a lot early on. And so yes, I had a very good experience through high school.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I did hear you say like school was your escape from home. What was it that you feel like you were escaping from?
Well, my dad, he was an alcoholic. Okay. And my mom, she worked 2 jobs. My family was never financially secure. Okay. And so, you know, you never knew what to expect when you got home at 5 o'clock, if my dad had been drinking that day or not. And, you know, if there was, and there was a lot of, you know, tension, and then there'd be fighting. And, you know, my sister and I, we were very close, and, you know, we leaned on each other a lot. But for me, school, and plus I grew up, and I hate to say it, but I did grow up poor. Okay. And it took me a long time to get over like the shame of like what my house looked like and things like that. Okay. And so for me, like to stay at school as long as I could was like my answer, not for other people to even, you know, see where I came from. I was always at school, it seemed like. But I don't know. And I realized that later in life, I was like, why? And the reason was like, I just wasn't happy at home.
Okay. All right. So, you won the nursing spelling bee, and did you pursue a career in nursing?
I did. Initially, I went to the local community college right out of high school and started taking transfer classes. But during this time, I'm working, and I started working with kids, and started working with children with different like behavioral and developmental issues. And I did really great there. Like I was helping these kids I loved it. And I was like,
Okay.
well, maybe nursing isn't what I want to do. So I went in the direction of education.
Okay.
So when I finished at the community college, I actually transferred to East Carolina University
Mm-hmm.
and went there for elementary education.
Okay.
And it was all a farce. You know?
Okay.
Okay.
So what was the so school was a farce. What about school made it a farce?
Well, I went and it was just a nonstop party.
Oh,
And,
okay.
you know, everyone on the outside looking in thought I was just, you know, she's working, she's going to school, she's doing all these great things. And I was a professional party girl.
Really?
And, you know, school was at the bottom of my to-do list.
Okay.
And I don't know how I made it almost 3 semesters.
Wow.
And before I just stopped going one day.
Okay.
'Cause
when did the partying start, and how did it start?
I started drinking. I would take drinks here and there from like my dad and other people from a very young age. I remember like in 3rd grade, like getting drunk on homemade wine that my parents had, you know.
Okay.
But by age 17, I was drinking every day. I had met my boyfriend at 17 years old. He had just graduated from NC State, and I just graduated from high school. So all of a sudden, all of my friends are college graduates who just got out of school, and I started running with them, and it was a party every day. And but I still worked. I went to school, but I was having a real good time.
So at some point, did the partying get out of control?
Yes.
Okay.
You know, I started. You know, my priorities weren't what they should be. You know, I would get kicked out of houses, and you know, when I lived in Greenville at school, you know, it's a party town, and you have to be pretty wild to get kicked out of a house there. And I've lost 2, one in less than 24 hours, just because the people. I had a lot of friends. I was very popular. Just parties would just happen when I lived there, and but I ended up I don't know, just things like that would happen, you know.
Just things that's like out of control.
Just out of control.
And, yeah, out of control.
Just, you know, one day at a time, flying by the seat of my pants, and no plan, just along for the ride.